everybody, welcome back to my modern homestead. For those of you who don't already know, my name is Janet and I'm so glad you're here. I'm sorry I've been missing in action, but I wanted to go ahead and get this video out to you. Tonight we are making tacos. Not your normal everyday tacos. We are doing steak tacos, and I'm actually going to use strips of meat that you would use for stir fry. And look, I actually found them on clearance. Don't be afraid of that clearance meat, y'all. That's the way to save money. So the first thing I need to do is get them seasoned and get them in the refrigerator while we get everything else ready. Because we're also going to do, I call it guacamole. I don't know, maybe it is, maybe it's not, but it's the way I do it. And that's the way we enjoy it. But first, let's do this meat. The first thing I'm going to do is put it in this pan and season it. Now this was on the more expensive side, but y'all, you don't have to use this kind of meat. Use any kind of meat you can find that's in your budget, even if it's not beef. Use chicken, use pork. I don't want to get that plastic in the meat, sorry. Whatever fits your budget will be just fine. Now, I don't like bland meat. I'm sure y'all don't either. So, we're going to coat it with salt. Have some cumin. My favorite. Let's do some paprika. Don't be afraid of the seasonings. We're going to do this on both sides. And then when I put it in the pan to cook it, I'm going to use my homemade taco seasonings. And before we actually cook this meat, I'm going to cook up a few pieces of bacon, not many, just enough to give it a little extra flavor. That's onion powder. So what I'm going to do is turn this over and do the other side. Okay, now I've got both sides coated, so I'm just going to kind of squish it around and spread those seasonings out, because these are strips, they come apart. Okay, I've got all the meat strips separated, and I've rubbed them together a little bit. And Alyssa has graciously agreed to cut a line for me. So I'm just going to take, a lime and just squeeze, not a lot. I'm not going for a big lime flavor, but just enough acid. Now, while I'm getting everything else ready, I'm just going to sit this off in the refrigerator and just let it chill out for a little while. And that's all we're going to do. For the seasoning, that is. Then I'm going to wash my hands and get busy on the vegetables. Alright, let's chop up a little bit of onion. I don't need a lot. I'm just going to do a little bit of red onion for the guacamole part, and then white onion to top our tacos. I think I'm going to cut a little more to actually cook in the taco meat. And I just like to give it a fine dice. Probably don't even need all of this. I like just a little bit in the guacamole, not a lot. What we don't use will not go to waste. We'll put it in a bag in the refrigerator. Ooh, that's strong. We definitely don't need a lot. Got my eyes just a-going. Yikes. All right. Let's clean up this board and do the white onion. Okay, white onion. I'm going to do about half of this. My husband loves onions on his tacos, so that'll be plenty for him to put on them and to cook in them. All right, I'm just going to prepare these tomatoes because I'm going to add them in with my guacamole, my avocado, excuse me. And I just like to cut those hard ends off. I think 2 will be plenty. Probably don't even need that. Okay, let's get the guacamole going. I'm going to take 1 of these tomatoes to start with. Just quarter it, drop it down in there. Oops, a little bit of purple onion. It's probably, I don't know, 2 tablespoons, if that. Then we're going to take our avocados, cut them in half, and then we're going to spoon out the avocado and put it down in there. Just like that. I've seen people peeling avocados, and for the life of me, I don't understand it. There's no need that I can see, but maybe I'm missing something. I think they're doing something to avocados, y'all. The texture is just weird here lately. Okay, and what I'm going to do is chop this up a little bit to make more room in the chopper before we add anything else. Okay, and we can add another avocado and the spices. Okay, y'all. Let's add in some salt, not a lot. You can always add more later, but you can't take it out. And then I add cumin to mine. And some people will put in jalapeno peppers. I don't, but I do add garlic. Got avocado all over my hand. And I'm not measuring, y'all. Just do it to your taste. Whatever you like, just add it. And then to try to help the avocados from turning brown before we're ready to eat, I'm going to squeeze in a little bit of lime juice. Right, and then we'll just mix it up. You can leave it a little chunky or you can do it smooth, however you prefer. I tend to like mine more smooth, so I'll let it go for just a second more and I'll call it done. Oh my, it's all over the lid. Hey. Yum, yum. Now, that part's done. Let's do the meat. I like this little chopper because you can take the blade out and put the lid on and store it just like that. Going to taste it. Yum. Okay, actually before we start the meat, I forgot I need to get the rice started. I wanted, Mary on her channel did Mexican rice, but my children went to get this for me and they picked up Spanish rice. It'll be fine. We just need to get it going. I need 4 tablespoons of butter to begin with. Okay, then we're going to put in the 2 boxes of vermicelli and rice mix. I guess I'm saying that right. Okay, and then we're just going to let this cook up together and start browning before we do the rest. Now the next part of the recipe calls for 1 box, it's a 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes. So I'm just going to use one 28-ounce can since I've got 2 boxes. Then we also need 4 cups of water. Okay, while the rice is going, I'm going to go ahead and stick the bacon in the skillet and get it going. I'm just going to crisp this up and render the fat and use that for our meat for the tacos. And yes, I'll add the bacon in. Okay, I had 6 pieces of bacon, so I just went ahead and put all of those in there. Just going to keep stirring this. Almost ready to add everything else. All right, let's add in the seasonings. And the tomatoes. And 4 cups of water. Do it slowly and carefully. The skillet is hot. There's 2 cups, and I'll just get 2 more, and then we'll cover it. Give it a good stir, get everything mixed together. Let's bring it up to a boil, and when it starts boiling, then we'll cover it. All right, we are just now coming up to a boil, so let's cover it. Reduce the heat to low. And we'll let it cook 15 to 20 minutes. Alrighty, the bacon is done and I've got it chopped. That's optional, you don't have to do that. You don't want bacon. I also have my meat ready to go. But what I'm going to do first is fry up the onions, just cook them a little bit first before we put the meat in. So I've got the stove turned back on medium. Let's let this get warm again. Actually, it's still warm, okay. Add in some of the onions. I don't want a whole lot, so I'm going to leave the rest of those to top the tacos, and we'll cook these. Now, that's hot. I did take out some of the bacon grease, but I left some and all the pan drippings that were in there. Let's flavor, y'all. So these onions are going to look like they're burnt, but they're not. It's just stuff from the pan. Sorry about that noise, that's my vent. These have been cooking for a few minutes. Very quick. I don't want to cook them all the way through. I'm going to go ahead and add in the beef. Whoops. Preferably not on the stove, in the pan. There we go. And this is super quick. We're just going to keep stirring it around. It won't take but just a minute for these thin strips to cook. If you want to go for a dark color, don't overcrowd your pan, because I've got too much meat in here. The meat tends to steam and not sear on the outside. I don't have time to worry about it tonight, y'all. Don't do as I do, do as I say. Only add part of your meat at a time. Meat is almost done, so I'm going to sprinkle over my homemade taco sauce mix. I'm going to add in just a little bit of salsa verde. Not much. I think I'm the only one in the house that likes it. And we're going to add back in our bacon. Just like so. And let this all heat through. And we are done. The beauty of using these beef strips is if you don't get them all the way done, it's okay. If they're a little pink, it won't hurt anything. I'm doing mine well done, but just so you know, I tried to stop before they were completely done and add all this stuff in. So we're just going to mix it together and let it thicken up. And the supper's done. Our rice is actually almost done. Perfect timing. Another thing you can do is if you don't want to do this taco style, excuse the noise, Alyssa's cleaning up behind me. You can cook some bell pepper strips and onion strips and do this fajita style. Oops, making a mess. There we go, y'all. Those are done. Yum. I'm going to move this off to a pan so it won't be all soggy in the pan juices. Get that. We used to eat at a restaurant called Rancho Grande in Texas, and they would actually cook shrimp in with this. I think they even put mushrooms in it. Oh my goodness, y'all, that was the best. We didn't go that fancy tonight. There's our rice. I'm going to turn it off and call it done. It's starting to stick on the bottom, and we don't want that. Okay, y'all, let's build our tacos. I'm going to put meat on first. Let's add a little cilantro, or a lot, depending on your taste. A few onions. And I have some Verde street sauce. Sounds like I shouldn't be saying that on YouTube. Street sauce. All right. There's one. Let's do the other. Okay, now the guacamole, you can put it on the tacos or on the side. I'm just going to set it on the side just for the picture and add it to my tacos in a minute. Let's get some of our rice and we are done. Voila, there is our plate. Ooh, y'all, let's give this a little squeeze of lime. and give it a try. We need smaller tortillas, but using what we got. Oh my goodness. Y'all. Happy dance. That was so good. This is a super easy meal. It's a lot of steps and a lot of ingredients, but they come together so quickly. This is delicious, y'all. If you get a chance, try it. Even if you don't use the same meat, just find something that works for you. You all, thank you so much for joining me. You know I love it when you come and spend a few minutes with me. So until we meet again, may you be blessed. Love you guys.